Welcome back to our channel. In this video, we will see some more examination point of view important questions and answers from lesson alcohols, phenols and ethers. If you can see the one of the question which was asked recently, which of the following isomers is more volatile? More volatile. They have given two isomers of nitrophenol. Orthonitrophenol, nitrophenol and para-nitrophenol. So which one is more volatile? One more question, if you can simply say this is more volatile, it is okay, but if it comes for 2-3 more questions, we need to explain it. This orthonitrophenol is more volatile than para-nitrophenol. Why so? If I take this nitrophenol, this is benzene, a nitrogen group is here and OH is here. This is orthonitrophenol. For example, you consider this volatile nature comes if it has weak bonding, hydrogen bonds. How we will see. For example, nitro group N double bond O and another O, it is minus delta, this is plus delta. Nitro group. Then the OH group is O and hydrogen. This is negative delta, this is plus delta because H is positive, this. Now there is a intramolecular hydrogen bonding forms here between O and H of the nitro group and OH group. This is called intramolecular hydrogen bonding. H bonding. And if you can see the next one, we will explain after that. Now you take the para-nitrophenol. If you are considering the para-nitrophenol, it will have N double bond O and O minus delta plus delta, and you have O and H plus delta minus delta. This nitrophenol will be having intermolecular hydrogen bond. That means one nitrophenol molecule will have a bonding with other nitrophenol. So it will have one more nitrophenol molecules like this, different molecules. For example, N double bond O and another O minus delta plus delta. Now you have bonding is here. So this is called intermolecular hydrogen bonding. H bonding. So how the volatility depends upon the type of bonding. We told that this O-nitrophenol is more volatile because the nitro groups and OH groups are involved in the intramolecular hydrogen bonding. So between two different molecules, less possibility to have a hydrogen bonding because both groups are together bound with hydrogen bond which is internally, such that this molecule will not have hydrogen bonding with another molecule, such that the molecules in between, the attractive forces are less. That means those molecules are held not so strongly, so they will be try to go away from each other. That means they can try to go into vapor state. That's why the volatility is more. But if you can consider this para-nitrophenol, where molecules of para-nitrophenol, you see this is a nitro group. This nitro group once again can have a bonding with another phenolic group of the para-nitrophenol. Here the OH, it will continue the hydrogen bond. So one molecule and another molecule, there is a intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Because of this intermolecular hydrogen bonding, all these para-nitrophenol molecules are held together strongly. Once they are held together strongly, they require more energy to convert into vapor state. So that's why at a particular temperature, their converting to vapor state is less, so volatility is less. So orthonitrophenol is more volatile because of intramolecular hydrogen bonding, while para-nitrophenol is less volatile due to strong intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So this intermolecular hydrogen bonding causes association of the molecules. Here it will not support for the association. This is the reason by which these can be understood. Next one. So the next question is, how is toluene is obtained from phenol? So you can take phenol. I need to get toluene. Toluene is methyl benzene. So this is phenol, this is toluene. How the toluene is obtained from phenol? You know, if it is from benzene, you take the benzene and Friedel-Crafts alkylation leads to the formation of toluene. So by keeping that into mind, so you can convert the phenol into benzene. There is a reaction. The phenol can be converted into benzene by reacting with zinc dust. So you react with the zinc. So whenever you are heating this phenol with zinc, that zinc oxide will go ZnO and you will get benzene. So that O left and H is stays back, and then you get the benzene. Zinc oxide will be leaving group. Then you go for the Friedel-Crafts alkylation. Friedel-Crafts alkylation. How we will be done? Methyl chloride, chloromethane, CH3Cl in presence of AlCl3, anhydrous AlCl3. Then you will get CH3 plus as the electrophile. The electrophilic substitution happens and you will be getting the toluene. So this is the simplest way of conversion of phenol to toluene. So this is the one way where we can get phenol from toluene from phenol. So then another conversion they asked is, how could you convert ethanol to ethene? Ethanol to ethene. So ethanol is CH3 CH2 OH. Ethene is CH2 double bond CH2. So you need to convert ethanol to ethene. So what should we do? We just remove the water molecule from this. This carbon OH, this carbon hydrogen. Then if you can eliminate water molecule, then the reaction is called dehydration. Dehydration generally occurs with a strong acids. So you can take a concentrated sulfuric acid. It acts as a dehydrating agent and just heat it at 443 Kelvin. Then the process is called dehydration. Then you will get CH2 double bond CH2 plus water. So ethanol to ethane you can obtain. How it happened? You see CC, this molecule we can write OH and hydrogen and 2 hydrogens here and 3 hydrogens here. This is CH3 bond CH2 H2OH. So now this is the way the elimination occurs. These groups will be lost. Once the groups are lost, I get say a double bond, because OH goes as minus with this bond and this bond moves here, then H plus OH becomes water molecule. So this is the way we can obtain this particular reaction. Another reaction they asked, write the equations involved in the Riemann-Tiemann reaction. Reimer-Tiemann reaction. So this is Reimer-Tiemann reaction. So this Reimer-Tiemann reaction, phenol will react with chloroform in presence of sodium hydroxide. So this reaction where the phenol, this is phenol. This phenol reacts with chloroform, CHCl3. Then CHO group comes and substitutes. So you will get salsylaldehyde. That is the Reimer-Tiemann reaction. So this phenol reacts with chloroform in presence of sodium hydroxide, aqueous sodium hydroxide, NaOH, at 340 Kelvin, around some temperature, 340 Kelvin. It loses sodium chloride and water. So ultimately what you will get? You will get the corresponding aldehyde substituted phenol. Before that, since here you will be getting the salt of sodium phenoxide, that is ONA. This is sodium phenoxide, which is substituted with CH. Then now you acidify this because it is a salt. If you can acidify by add some HCl, dilute HCl, then this becomes OH. So now you will get CHO substituted phenol. So OH, CHO. This is salsylaldehyde. So phenol to salsylaldehyde is the Reimer-Tiemann reaction. They asked for one more question, the equation. So this much is sufficient. How the CHO formed will be understood in the mechanisms. Okay. So this is the way Reimer-Tiemann reaction can be done. And another question, another conversion, we will see one more. Write the chemical equation for the preparation of phenol from benzene using oleum and sodium hydroxide. So now they want phenol from benzene, and they have given reagents which we need to use. One is oleum and sodium hydroxide. Oleum, NaOH, sodium hydroxide. H2SO4, SO3 together is called as oleum. So you need to use oleum and sodium hydroxide together in order to convert benzene to phenol. So oleum is H2SO4 plus SO3, that is H2S2O7. This is the volume. So you take the benzene first. Take the benzene. React with volume, that is H2S2O7 at 353 Kelvin. What will happen? Benzene sulfonic acid will get. This is sulfonation. We have read about electrophilic substitution. It is sulfonation. So SO3H, benzene sulfonic acid. This benzene sulfonic acid can be treated with sodium hydroxide. So this is an acid and it is a base. You will get the sodium salt of benzene sulfonic acid. So that is SO3Na. SO3Na, the minus and plus. So it is the salt. So acid and base reacted, you got the sodium benzene sulfonate. This name is sodium benzene sulfonate, sulfonic acid. This sodium benzene sulfonic acid can further treat with NaOH at 573 Kelvin. Excess NaOH, if it is reacted, then this sulfonic group will go and you will get the sodium salt of phenol. Sodium salt of phenol, that is sodium phenoxide. ONA, Na plus and O minus. So Na2SO3 will be losing Na2SO3 will be lost, and water molecule OH and O is water molecule, H2O will be lost. So now you will get sodium salt of the phenol. This sodium salt of the phenol can be converted into phenol as previously seen by using dilute HCl, acidification. Once you do the acidification, then you will get the phenol. So this is the way the reaction can be done. So you take the benzene, react with volume as they have given volume, then you will get benzene sulfonic acid. This sulfonic acid, when you treat with sodium hydroxide, you will get benzene sulfonate. In excess sodium hydroxide, it converts into phenolic salt, that is sodium phenoxide. That can be at the end acidified with any acid in dilute condition, then you will get the phenol. So this is the way we can able to convert this benzene to that particular reaction. Okay, so next another question we will see. Write the mechanism of acid dehydration of ethanol to ethene. So ethanol, CH3, CH2, OH. Just now we have seen the reaction. Ethanol to ethene. Acid dehydration. That is in presence of acid, sulfuric acid, concentrated H2SO4. Then it loses water molecule. Then you will get this. Now they ask the mechanism. How the reaction happens. Sometimes 3 or 5 more questions. They will also ask you the mechanisms. So the acid catalyzed dehydration of ethyl alcohol. Acid catalyzed dehydration of ethyl alcohol. So there are 3 steps involved in this mechanism. The first one is protonation. Protonation, addition of proton. The step 1 is protonation. It is called addition of proton. That is, alcohol will be protonated. So you have CH3, CH2, OH. It will be in presence of H plus. Immediately the reaction happens and you will get protonation. That is CH3, CH2, where the proton will be added. Because I have lone pairs on the oxygen, oxygen can accept this H plus ions. So O will have one H and another H. So it will be getting a positive charge. Because one lone pair loses and forms the bond with H, so O loses electrons, so it gets positive charge. So this is protonated alcohol. Protonated alcohol. It is protonated alcohol. So the first step is protonation of the alcohol. That is the first step. So the next step will be your formation of carbocation. So the second step, what is happening? This protonated alcohol, that is the one we have CH3, CH2, clear, and O you have like this. This is the protonated alcohol, agree? So the same written here. This is the protonated alcohol. This protonated alcohol, because of O is positive charge, it is unstable. O is highly electronegative. It tries to take this bonded pair of electrons and leaves as water molecule. So then we will be getting here CH3, CH2, left the water molecule, so it gets a positive charge. So then the water molecule has gone away. So now you got a carbocation CH3, CH2 plus. So that is the second step is formation of carbocation. First step is protonation of alcohol. Second step is formation of the carbocation. So the third step, what should we do? Already it becomes CH2. Now you need to remove one H here, such that you will get alkane. So that's why the third step is loss of proton. Loss of proton, H plus. If the loss of proton happens, how it happens? Now I have CH2 plus and this is CH3. Clear? So since carbon is positive charge, it tries to take electrons. So these two electrons moves here. H goes as H plus ion. So then I get CH2. C, two hydrogens, double bond, and this CH2, and this H has gone as H plus. First initially we took the H, that H plus was once again left over here. So that's why it is acts as a catalyst. It didn't participate in the reaction. It only catalyzed the reaction. Acid. So acid catalyzes dehydration of alcohol to alkene. So in this process there are three steps involved. One is protonation of the alcohol, another is loss of water molecule and formation of carbocation, third is loss of H plus ion, that is proton. Okay, so this is the way one can understand this particular conversion mechanism. So another reaction, we will see the another conversion of propene to propane to all. The conversion of propene to propane to all. Propene is CH3 CH double bond CH2. It is a alkene. Three-membered alkene is called propane. We need to get propane 2-ol. 2-ol is, this is OL. Ol is alcohol. So I need to get CH3 CH CH3 OH. This is propane 2-ol. Propane 2-ol. This is propene. Propene to propane 2-ol. So if you can see the difference between these two, the double bond has gone. That is unsaturation became saturated. That means there should be addition reaction. What we need to add? If I add this carbon, one H and OH, it is sufficient. But where the OH should go, OH will be here and H will be here. So you react with water. Hydration. The reaction is hydration in presence of H plus ions. If you react with water in presence of acid, then what will happen? H and OH. H plus and OH minus water content. So this is addition reaction. This follows Markovnikov rule. Markovnikov's rule. As per the Markovnikov's rule, the negative part of the addendum goes to the double bonded carbon, which is having more number of alkyl groups. So this carbon is having more number of alkyl groups. So to that carbon OH came, the next carbon your hydrogen adds and it becomes CH3. So propane to propane 2-ol is done by hydration reaction, acid catalyzed hydration as per Markovnikov rule. If you want to get OH here and H is here and you want to get propane 1-ol, then you need to go for anti-Markovnikov rule. That means the reagent need to be changed. You can take peroxides. In presence of peroxides, this will happen oppositely, anti-Markovnikov. Then you will get propane 1-ol. That OH will be at the last carbon, hydrogen is here. So that way we can alter the reactions, whether it is 1-ol or 2-ol. Okay. Next, another important reaction we will see one more. They ask to arrange the following in increasing order of their acidic strength. Acidic strength. What are the compounds they ask to arrange? One is paracresol, paranitrophenol, paranitrophenol, and phenol. So these are the three they ask to arrange in the increasing order of acidic strength. So paracresol. What is this cresol? Cresol is, these are all phenolic compounds, correct? I have OH and then CH3. Methyl substituted phenol. And phenol, you know, simple OH. And nitrophenol, paranitrophenol. This is OH, phenol, para position you have nitrogen. They are all asking acidic strength. You know, generally phenols are acidic in nature. How they get the acidic in nature? We can, you see, this is the phenol, for example. If the phenol is able to lose this H as H plus ion, then it is a acid. So now we need to see the tendency, the rate of tendency to lose the H as H plus ion. If any compound in these three having more tendency to lose H as H plus ion, then it is more acidic. Acidic strength is higher. So the phenol is acidic because it loses H plus ion, then you get a phenoxide ion. Phenoxide ion is stabilized by resonance. So that's why this easily loses the H plus ion. And OH bond, where the O is electronegative, it takes the electrons, then H can lose as H plus. That's why phenol is acidic in nature, agree. But how I can improve the phenol acidic strength? I need to see a electron withdrawing group. You substitute a electron withdrawing group on benzene such that the benzene pulls the electrons down from the O, then O becomes less electrons, then O pulls the electron from the hydrogen O bond, such that H can easily lose as H plus ion. So in this case, if you can see, methyl group is electron donating group, it is plus I effect group, this is minus I effect group, NO2, or minus R effect group. So because of the minus R or minus I effect, nitro group pulls the electrons downwards. So as you can simply consider like this, the electrons are coming down from the benzene, from the O, then for example it is O and H bond, the electrons comes like this. So more pull is towards the oxygen, so H can easily leaves as H plus ion. So that's why acidic strength is more in paranitrophenol compared to the phenol. And when compared to the phenol, what about cresol? Paranitrocresol, since this is electron donating group, so the bond electrons is given like this. Once the electrons are given, O will get more electron density from the benzene side, such that it no need to drag faster the O and H bonded electrons. So that's why H cannot easily lose as H plus when compared to the phenol. So that's why its acidic strength is less. So paracresol have less acidic than phenol than paranitrophenol. So the methyl group decreases the pulling nature of the oxygen, that is electron pulling nature of the oxygen from the hydrogen. This is the way we need to understand this particular acidic strength. So we will see some one or two more questions in this. And the formation of picric acid from phenol. Picric acid from phenol. Phenol to picric acid. Trinitrophenol is called as picric acid. Trinitrophenol is called as the picric acid. So I have a phenol. So how I can convert into picric acid? You can see here I have phenol. This is phenol. So we need to get trinitrophenol. That is, all the para positions need to be substituted with nitro groups. This is phenol. Now you should have NO2 here, NO2 here, and another NO2 here. This is trinitrophenol picric acid. Then what should we do? Just go for a nitration. Nitration can be done in presence of with reaction with HNO3. In presence of H2SO4. This is nitrating mixture. You have read in benzene nitration, phenols, all these electrophilic substitution reactions. Phenol is more reactive than benzene, so all three places nitration happens, complete nitration. So you take the phenol, react with concentrated nitric acid in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, then second position, fourth position, sixth position. This is 1, 2, 4 and 6. So 2, 4, 6 trinitrophenol one can get. This way we can able to do the conversion. So thank you, and we will see some more questions in the next video.